Google's new Notebook LLM is insane and it's free. I created this amazing content with 4 clicks. I went to notebookllm.google.com, new notebook, entered the URL of entity ranker of this website, copied and pasted it in there, and what it produced was insane. I was so excited about it that I wrote a document about it to create a video. And so then I thought I'll put that in a Google Doc, and then I used that Google Doc. I used the Notebook LLM to use that Google Doc to create a video about me creating a video using Notebook LLM. Let me show you.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how we love to get our hands dirty with the latest and greatest in tech? Well, today we're taking a deep dive into something that's blowing our minds: AI and content creation, specifically Google's Notebook LM. And we're going to explore its potential through the eyes of an actual user. So get this. We came across this story, right, about a guy named Peter who used Notebook LM to make a whole interview. And it was promoting his product, Entity Ranker, which, for those who don't know, is a really cool SEO tool. But here's the kicker. He just gave the AI his website URL, and that was it.
Seriously, that's wild. It's not like those other tools that just spit out a bunch of jargon.
Exactly.
Peter said the interview was genuinely impressive. Like, it had a persuasive language, it had accurate details about Entity Ranker. It sounded like a real conversation about the product, you know?
Right. That's what really got us, too.
Yeah.
We've all heard about AI writing, right? But this was different. It felt almost dangerously easy to make something high quality. So we thought, what better way to explore this than to actually hear it?
Exactly. And, you know, it's a perfect example of how these AI tools like Notebook LM are really changing the game for people who create content. Imagine being able to just scale up your content production, like creating different versions tailored to different audiences. It's huge.
Absolutely. Okay, so before we jump into this AI-generated interview, can you break down exactly what Notebook LM is, what makes it different from all those other AI writing tools?
Okay, so imagine Notebook LM as this super-powered research assistant, but it can also write really, really well. You can feed it a ton of info documents, web pages, even audio or video, and it uses Google's AI to, you know, understand it all, summarize it, even create brand new content based on it.
Wow, that's insane. So in Peter's case, it took the info from his Entity Ranker website, and then, just like that, turned it into this whole interview format.
Exactly, and that's the really cool part. We're not just going to tell you about this interview, you're going to hear it firsthand in just a sec.
That's right. But before we do that, just a quick reminder for everyone listening. Entity Ranker is an SEO tool, which means it helps websites rank higher in search results. So as you're listening, pay attention to how the AI incorporates all that stuff. We'll be back with that interview right after this.
Okay, I told you it's insane. That is insane. I wrote a quick document in Google Docs about how excited I was about Notebook LLM creating this amazing premium content for my website. After just entering a single URL, it did the rest. So now you can check out that video.
Okay, so you know how everyone's promising instant SEO results these days?
Right.
Like rank higher overnight. It's easy to be skeptical.
Yeah.
And we should be, right? This Entity Ranker AI thing, though, it's got some buzz. They're saying it's a whole new approach and even tossing around terms like leaked Google API documents.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely gets your attention. But we're diving into it today to see if it's legit.
Absolutely.
Could it actually work? Because that's what matters, right?
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things that stood out to me was this whole Google entities thing.
Okay.
And I know that can sound jargony.
It does sound a little jargony.
So could you break down what that actually means?
Sure. So Google's focus has shifted from simply matching keywords to actually understanding the meaning behind the words on your website.
Right.
And entities are at the heart of that.
So Google's trying to figure out what your content is really about, not just what words you're using.
Precisely. They want to connect searchers with the most relevant information. So if you're writing about best hiking trails, entities help Google understand that you're talking about specific locations, their difficulty levels, scenery, maybe even user reviews, all the rich context.
Okay, so it's like giving Google that deeper understanding. But how does Entity Ranker AI use these entities?
They claim their AI engine crafts content that's not just keyword rich, but also structured in a way that aligns with these relevant entities, making it easier for Google to digest and rank.
Gotcha. And they seem really keen on the whole Google site angle too. Like
Yeah.
building your site on Google's platform is this secret weapon.
Yeah, they're playing into Google's ecosystem.
Exactly. And they say that gives you an edge.
Which strategically makes sense. Google tends to, give a little preference to its own properties.
Makes you wonder if it's true. So, from what I've gathered, you basically feed Entity Ranker AI your keywords, your business info, maybe some images.
Yeah.
And then their AI engine handles the rest and spits out a 5-page Google site.
That's the idea, yes.
Sounds almost too easy.
They have definitely streamlined it, making it user-friendly even for those who aren't SEO experts. But even with that streamlined approach, they're using some smart tactics. For example, they emphasize internal and external linking, particularly to your Google business profile.
Ah, yes. Link juice.
Exactly, I hear that's important. It is. Link juice basically refers to how links from one page pass authority and value to another. And when that juice comes from a trusted source like your Google business profile, it carries even more weight.
Okay, so it sounds like a pretty impressive package, at least in theory.
Yeah.
But what about results in the real world? Do we actually know if this whole entity thing actually gets results?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And to their credit, they have a ton of testimonials from their beta testers.
Right.
All claiming amazing results, like really impressive stuff.
Yeah, I did see those.
And they even encourage you to reach out
Yeah.
to join their members-only group and actually connect with those beta testers.
It's a smart move for sure. You see all those glowing reviews and it's like, well, maybe this is the real deal. They're using social proof.
Yeah, exactly. Social proof is huge. If you're on the fence about something and you see someone else having success, it's really persuasive. And then giving people that access
Right.
to those other users, I mean, that adds a level of transparency for sure.
It makes you want to believe it, you know? Although I will say that TurboWare seal of approval on their website, not sure what a TurboWare is,
Right.
but it sounds official.
That's the point. But yeah, I think it always makes sense to look at these things critically,
Yeah,
right? Are these testimonials the norm or are they outliers?
exactly.
Could there be other factors at play?
Right, we gotta keep our skeptical hats on. Speaking of things that make you raise an eyebrow, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the price tag. Yearly and monthly plans are pretty standard, but they're also offering this lifetime deal. And then on top of that, there's a 25% off discount code floating around. Easy to get tempted.
It is tempting. It's like, how can I say no to that?
Right, but it all comes down to value, right? Like, is this thing actually worth it?
Exactly. You have to weigh the potential return on investment against the cost, especially for your specific situation.
That's true. They do really emphasize the value of their exclusive SEO community, though, right?
Yeah,
Like, you get access to this group of SEO gurus with all this experience and insider tips.
it's true. And that can be really valuable. I mean, having access to that kind of community, especially with SEO, it changes all the time.
All the time.
So yeah, having access to people who are really in it.
The trenches.
Yeah, exactly. That can be super valuable.
So we've got the AI content, the Google site strategy, the whole entity focus, the community aspect. It's a lot. It makes you wonder, is this all too good to be true?
That's what we need to figure out. I mean, it's one thing to have cool features.
Right.
It's another thing entirely to actually deliver.
I mean, it's like they took all these pieces and put
Yeah.
it together,
Yeah.
but that doesn't automatically mean it's going to work, right?
Right. They're tapping into some really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
But SEO is a long game. It's not about instant gratification. It's about building up authority, providing real value, and staying ahead of those algorithm changes.
Yeah, it's tempting to think there's some magic shortcut out there.
I know, right?
But I have a feeling it really depends on how you use it.
Exactly. Because let's just say, hypothetically, that Entity Ranker AI does everything it claims to do. It builds a fantastic site, optimizes it perfectly, even get those backlinks flowing. That's amazing. But it's still just the first step.
Okay, so what happens after you hit publish?
That's when the real work starts.
Yeah.
You've got to promote that content, engage with your audience, really analyze what's working and what's not, and then you're constantly refining your strategy. There's no tool that can replace that.
Right. No matter how good it sounds. I've definitely been burned before thinking a tool would do it all.
Oh, I think we've all been there.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
that's important to remember, right?
It is. Entity Ranker AI could be a great tool, but it's not magic.
Hmm.
You have to be realistic about it.
So as you wrap things up here, what are some things people should be thinking about if they're considering Entity Ranker AI?
I'd say focus on the fundamentals. Does it align with your SEO goals? Are you ready to put in the work? And can you afford to try it out, knowing that results aren't guaranteed?
Those are really good points to consider. Weigh those benefits against the costs and how much time you can actually dedicate to it.
Exactly.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into Entity Ranker AI. We've gone through the features, looked at their approach, and hopefully given you the information you need to decide if it's right for you.
Absolutely.
And remember, no shortcuts in SEO, just smart strategies and consistent work. Until next time, happy optimizing.
So the content it creates is spectacular. It creates WAV files. So I sent this to my editor on Fiverr, and I cannot wait to see what she comes up with. I'm going to share that on Monday, so keep an eye out for that. So you can create this for free using NoteBookLLM. I'll provide the link to this creator. She's awesome, and let's see what it comes up with 7 minutes of audio content, and we'll see what sort of video she puts together. So I'll see you in the next video, part 2, on Monday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.